What's going on, everyone? Scott here. Welcome back to the channel. So, Michigan State basketball gets the round of 32 win over New Mexico, 71-63, to advance to the Sweet 16 in Atlanta next weekend. Now, this was a game in which New Mexico did a lot of good things in the first half. They were shooting the ball pretty well. They were getting rebounds. They were doing a lot of good things, taking Michigan State out of the stuff that they wanted to do. In the first half, they did a really good job on Jace Richardson. Pretty much this whole game, I mean, Jace really struggled in this game for the most part. Did come up big at the end, and we will get to that here. But Michigan State in the first half was not shooting the ball well. They were getting some good looks, but they were not knocking them down. They were missing their free throws, but they were able to hang in, battle in, and make it only a 2-point game at halftime. 31-29, and then win the second half 42-32, win that by 10 to give you the 71-63 win to advance to the Sweet 16. But this was definitely a very sweaty game and, stressful game for the entirety of the 40 minutes. So we're going to get into the recap. But first, if you could, just hit that like and subscribe button down there. More Michigan State basketball content on the channel, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a video. So we're going to start out with New Mexico. And like I said, they did a lot of really good things, both defensively in the first half to take Michigan State's out of the stuff that they wanted to do, but then offensively, they were making plays. I mean, the two guys that we talked about the most coming in, Donovan Dent and Nelly Jr. Joseph. Donovan Dent, he had 14 points in this one, did have 4 turnovers, but he had 6 assists, 7 for 18 from the field, didn't get a three-pointer up either. So, I mean, making him fairly inefficient, forcing him into tough shots, something we talked about coming into the game. But Nelly Jr. Joseph did have a really good game, 16 points, 7 rebounds, 7 for 9 from the field. He was very efficient in the paint, and that was a problem. He did only play 29 minutes in this one as he did foul out. But yeah, he was very efficient and getting the job done in the paint there. Mustafa Amzil, 14 points, 4 rebounds, 6 for 8 from the field, 2 for 3 from the three-point line. And he was very efficient in this one. And he was hitting a lot of shots that was helping them into that 10-point lead that they got in the first half and why they were playing so well. But then Philip Borovicanin also had 4 points and 7 rebounds. So they did a solid job there from their starting lineup. 8 points from True Washington. He was doing a good job for them as well. But overall, for Michigan State, did a good job, I think, on Dent, as I said, forcing him into tough shots. But other guys were very efficient, as we said, and Mustafa and Nelly Jr. Joseph, efficient with their shot making, and the reason that New Mexico was able to make this such a close game. And they, as we said, coming in, they're a really good team. They do a lot of really good things. They like to get out on the fast break. Michigan State was able to control the fast break, holding them to only 3 fast break points. I think that was a key in this one. Forcing 10 turnovers for New Mexico. That's under what they average on the season. They average about 11. So they did a good job of holding onto the ball. But they shot 4 for 13 from 3. That's definitely a key good three-point defense there. And you have to credit New Mexico for making that 31%. I mean, 4 for 13, they weren't taking a lot of threes in this game, and they could have easily kept shooting the ball, and that number would have been, and the score could have been a lot different. But they were continuing getting to the basket. It was what was working for them. Nelly Jr. Joseph in the post, 28 rebounds, hanging in there. That's about 10-9 under where their season average is, 11 under their season average, I believe. But you flip it over to Michigan State, and Jackson Kohler, 17 minutes in this one, 4 points, 2 rebounds, 2 for 3 from the field. Hasn't got a lot of shots in the paint recently. We haven't seen him get a 3-point attempt up in a couple games, but still overall solid game, I believe. Simone Zapala, in 11 minutes, I thought he did some good things. 4 points, 5 rebounds, 2 for 3 from the field. Again, so efficient. Off the bench, Carson Cooper also played 17 minutes, same as Jackson Kohler. He had 4 points as well, 8 rebounds, so good on the glass there. And then Cohen Carr, 8 points in this one, 6 rebounds. We figured that we'd see more of Cohen Carr in this one. Needed all the bodies we can get to help control the glass in this one, which we did win the rebounding battle in this one, 34-28. And then Trey Holloman off the bench came in, was hitting some big shots in this one, like we've seen him do a handful of times this year. And he finishes in 25 minutes with 14 points, 4 assists, 3 steals as well, 1 block. His defense was off the charts tonight, as it has been all season. Should have been on the all-defensive team. But that's another discussion for another day. It's 2 for 5 overall from the three-point line as well. And then you flip it over to the starting lineup, and Jace Richardson in this one. He did not have it going at all. This is kind of the first, inefficient, not good game that Jace has had in this one. He finishes with 6 points, and they were a huge 6 points. Within the last, 2 minutes of the game, he gets fouled on a 3-point attempt, goes calmly, hits his 3 free throws, and then within the last minute of the game, he hits his first field goal of the game, gets a rebound off a shot, puts it back up, gets the and one, hits his free throw. 1 for 10 from the field, 0 for 5 from 3, but 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Finishes with 4 assists and 4 rebounds as well. Still only 1 turnover. So even though his shot wasn't going down, still making good plays as well. And Trey Holloman, I think that's a fairly efficient line as well. 5 for 13 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3, 2 for 4 from the free throw line. But Jace Richardson sticking with it and making the plays when necessary down the stretch. Shot wasn't going all game, still stuck with it, and his first field goal of the game, should I say, comes within the last minute, and it's on a offensive rebound putback, hits the free throws, and then Michigan State is able to seal it there the last couple possessions. And then Jeremy Fears thought again, the scoring doesn't show it. The stat sheet might not show it, but I thought he was playing pretty good in this game. 5 points in 27 minutes. He was 0 for 2 from the field, 5 for 8 from the free throw line, though. Had a block, a steal, 2 assists, 3 rebounds, and only 1 turnover in this one. And I think that's the key. Jeremy Fears, even though that's what we've been seeing. Like, yes, he's been having better scoring outputs, assisting outputs, and stuff like that. But it's his ability to kind of be able to, when things were getting kind of out of control in that first half, and New Mexico went up 10, he's able to get in transition, get going, draw a foul, get to the basket, draw a foul. Whatever it is to kind of just, hey, slow things down. We want to play fast, but we want to slow the game down, possessions down if we don't have shots going or whatnot. It does a really good job of that. Did in this one as well. He was big. Then Jaden Akins. Can't say enough about him in this one. 16 points. Only had 1 assist, 1 rebound in this one, but he was 7 for 11 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3, and really efficient shooting night. And he has struggled, as we've seen throughout this whole year, shooting the basketball. And for him to have an efficient game like this in the round of 32 to advance to the Sweet 16 when his team needs him, when Jace, as we said, for the last month or so, has been their most consistent, best player over the last month and a half. And for Jaden Akins, senior, 4-year guy in this program, to step up in this moment, hit some shots, and be consistent here and efficient. And he had an incredible block as well. His defense all season long, that's why he was on the all-defensive team, should have been Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. But can't say enough about Jaden in this one, and big reason why Michigan State is moving on to the Sweet 16. Then you look at some stats here. 48% for New Mexico from the field, 44% for Michigan State, 4 for 13 for 31%, 4 for 15 for 27% for Michigan State, 5 for 10 for the free throw line for New Mexico for 50%, and 19 for 28 for 68% from Michigan State. Big thing, Michigan State getting to the free throw line and drawing those fouls. A lot of that getting to the paint and getting challenged at the rim, getting fouled and whatnot. Keep driving, especially when the shot wasn't going. Just keeping them driving, getting to the free throw line. Slow the game down so you can get it under control and then speed it back up. Michigan State wins the rebounding battle. New Mexico has 28 in this one. Michigan State 34. And then turnovers. New Mexico turns it over 10 times. Michigan State able to stay within that magic number. Only turned it over 9 times in this one. And then fast break points, 3 for New Mexico, which that was something that they did really well coming into this game, above Michigan State on the year so far in per game fast break point stats in this one, and playing at a faster tempo. But Michigan State holds them to 3 in this one. That was key. Michigan State gets 17 themselves. Points in the paint, 42 for New Mexico, 36 for Michigan State. Obviously, they were getting into the paint, though. They were getting into the paint and getting fouled, though, and that was a key. And you look at the free throw shooting. Free throw shooting obviously still does have to get cleaned up some, as they still, 68% missing 9 free throws on the night. So yeah, that's got to get cleaned up. But overall, look, Michigan State is moving on to the Sweet 16. That's what we wanted out of this weekend. Win the weekend, as Tom Izzo always says. They've won the weekend, but now you got a tough task coming up against Ole Miss. And this is going to be a really tough game. We'll have a preview out on the channel later this week for that game. And obviously, Chris Beard, their head coach, was the head coach of Texas Tech last time Michigan State was in the Final Four back in 2019. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup, interesting storyline matchup as well. So we will be back to preview that one later this week. But thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.